Good morning. I know it's very difficult to start Sunday morning at that time, but we have a very busy program today. I'm confident that in an hour this lecture hall will be fully packed, but we waited 15 minutes and we can start and go our way. Even some of our speakers for the rest of the day, the speakers of the first session are all here, and I'm delighted to open this conference. We hope to make this a new tradition of the Center of Iranian Studies to have an annual Tel Aviv conference on Iran. Iran has become such an important issue, as all of you know, and the very way to prove it is that we don't have in Tel Aviv University any center for any other country in the Middle East. We don't have center for Egyptian studies, Syrian studies, Jordanian studies, but not only that we have a center in Tel Aviv University, but there is another center of Iranian studies in Haifa University. So in this small country, we have no less centers of Iranian studies, I think, like most of the most developed countries in the world, if not more. And I think that that concentration of the people that we have here is a center which is the number of staff and faculty and the graduate students that we have is very encouraging to see the interest in different parts, in different areas of Iranian studies. We don't do nuclear issues, but we do culture, history, politics, economics, society, and so on, religion, and so on and so forth. Currently, we have 11 graduate students writing PhDs on Iran, which is more than, I think, all the PhD has given in Israel ever on Iran. So it shows the growing interest in the field of Iranian studies, Shiite Islam, Persian heritage in Israel and not only in Israel. I'm glad that we have the full support of the university's authorities to develop this program. Professor Tzvi Galil has been with us all the way, and we have very firm backing of the university. And we also have with us today the main donor of this center, Lord David Alliance, who is sitting here. You can raise. Lord David Alliance is the first Iranian-born Lord. So in the whole history of Great Britain, but no, since then there is another woman, I think, in the House of Lords, born in Iran. So we have one Jew and one Muslim in the House of Lords, born in Iran. So together with him, we have another nice gentleman who is helping us, is the co-founder of this center, David and Laura Mirage from Colorado. I want to thank here, to begin with, just thanking one group of people who came all the way from Los Angeles mainly and New York, the group called 30 Years After. The 30 years after, they are seated over here, 22 people who came, young people, young professionals who came all the way from Los Angeles, and 3-4 of them from New York. They established a chapter of 30 years after. The name is very meaningful and related to what we are doing here. These are children to families who migrated from Iran to United States, and they decided to establish their own center, their own group, to educate the public and to educate young people to be more involved in society. Last year, they organized a very impressive conference on Iran in Los Angeles. When I came there and I saw 1,000 people in the Beverly Hilton, young, all of I think I raised the average by significantly, but I think the average age was 30 years. It was really very, very impressive for me. So immediately we established a new contact with the Tel Aviv University, and they are co-sponsors of this university together with the Center of Iranian Studies. So thank you too for coming and being here with us in this significant conference. Two other brief issues. It's one, the program. You have all the program here. You also have a booklet about the activities of the Center of Iranian Studies since its inception 4 years ago. They speak for themselves. I'm personally very satisfied with what we have accomplished in terms of research, publication, conferences, and academic activities. And the conference is reflecting our ongoing interest in understanding better this complex society of Iran and the state of Iran. We commissioned a survey of public opinion to be actually publicized this morning to the media about the attitudes of the Iranians towards Israel and the nuclear program. I don't want to go into much details, but I think the findings are very impressive, showing how concerned the Israelis are from the Iranian nuclear program and the Iranian threats to wipe out Israel from the map of history. They're showing this very sincere concern with some variation between left-wing people, right-wing people, religious and non-religious, and so on and so forth. We made this all available for you. All our people, all our mailing list people received it 2 a.m. this morning, and you are welcome to share them with others. One thing that for me was very meaningful is with all these hostilities between the two countries, I found, the survey found, and I hope it is accurate survey, that 50% of the Israelis today support political or diplomatic ways to solve the problem of Iranian nuclear weapon. And I think it's very impressive. I think a year ago that it was impossible to imagine that 50% of the Israeli would support dialogue with American-Iranian dialogue, and from the 39% that supported American-Iranian dialogue, 10% supported Israeli initiative to engage Iran. So I think it's very meaningful. I think in this case, thanks should go significantly to President Obama, who started this trend of dialogue, and I think it's convinced even the Israelis that this is the first step to be taken. I hope we'll have an I'm sure we'll have interesting conference. We usually have a conference with many scholars coming mainly from the United States, some from Europe. This time I think we have a real international conference with people from over 10 countries, including Japan, South Korea, China, Russia, France, Switzerland, Italy, and of course the United States, which is the biggest number always. And I think that I'm not against the United States at all, but I think it should be more universal, because there are different attitudes and understandings of Iran also in other parts of the world, and they are all share the same concern and interest in Iran. Ask the South Koreans, and we'll have a chance to speak with, hear them later on today. I'll stop here, and I want just to introduce a good friend and mentor and supporter of our center, the president of Tel Aviv University, Professor Tzvi Galil, who after 25 years at the University of Columbia returned to Tel Aviv to take the leadership of this university.